Hey guys, what's up? Today I will be doing a meta comps list that goes over like the best items for comps, like how you play it and when you should know when to play it. So just to begin, this is a current tier list that I think the meta is going to be like for 10.21. This tier list is going to change, things are going to move up and down, but more or less the way you play the comps should remain the same. So I'm going to start off with Dusk. I think it's probably going to be the best comp in this current patch. Your key units are Cassio, Kayn, and Riven. I think if you want to play Dusk, you probably want Riven items early. They're very powerful. Things like Bramble, things like Sunfire are very strong. Dragonclaw is okay. Basically, your defensive items go on Riven. I think some of the best items for the comp right now are probably going to be Chalice, Redemption, and Ionic. Chalice can go... mainly because the comp it revolves around AP damage, so having more of that is going to be very good for you. Chalice is probably going to be the most value in this comp for you, other than Ionic. That's probably best in slot. You either put on Riven or Kayn. Chalice Redemption can go on Cassio. Kayn can hold basically anything. He can hold Ionic, Chalice, Frozen Heart, blue buff, Sunfire, basically whatever you have, you can probably put on Kayn. And I think Locket's going to be really good in this comp as well. It'll help your units get those ultis off. It's probably really good on Cassio too. The way you transition into this is basically, this comp is super flexible. You can run it from a cultist opener. You can run it from a keeper opener. You're mostly looking for the items. You play around the items. If you get things like Ionic, if you get things like Chalice, like Bramble, Sunfire, you're probably just playing Dusk and you're looking for carriers for those items. Kindred can hold things like Chalice early game. It can hold things like Gunblade if you're going that route, blue buff, basically your damage items. Redemption goes on frontline obviously, and Riven holds your tanky stuff. Duelist, I think Duelist is very strong. I think it only gets stronger in the next patch. With Duelist, you're looking for one of three carries. You're looking for either Kalista, Jax, or Yasuo carry. If you have chosen Yasuo and you have a lot of Yasuos at Krugs, you roll at 5 for the 3-star. If you don't have a lot of Yasuos at Krugs, don't roll at 5. You need to go straight 7. You want to try to get 6 Duelists in ASAP, or at least 4. And you want to roll at 7 to stabilize your board. That's going to mean like 2-star, at least like 3-4 of your units. You just want your board to be stable. So you want to roll at 7 to stabilize, and ideally you want to go 8 and then roll then. Because the comp needs Lee Sin. It may need Yone if you have a Yasuo carry for sure. But it does need Lee Sin. It helps your comp a lot. It's probably the most important unit in the comp. So if your carry is Kalista, your items are Runons, best in slot, and RFC is really good too. If your carry is Yasuo, you need QSS and you need 2 damage items. So those are going to be IE Last Whisper, Titan's Hodge, Deathblade, Giant Slayer, whatever. You need QSS, you need 2 damage. If your carry is Jax, you don't even need to itemize them. You just put like tanky stuff on them. So Bramble, Dragonclaw, Locket. Best items on Jax. I think Locket is going to be extremely powerful in this comp. It'll help your units, get multiple ults off. It'll help them survive a lot longer. I think Zeke's is pretty good in this comp. Zerod's okay, but you're using your bows on Kalista most likely, so you probably don't make Zerod too often. Locket, however, you don't need rods, you don't need chains, so slam Locket if you have it here. Blue buff is very good on Lee. If Kalista is your carry, you can actually just roll at 8 for 3-star Kalista if you're kind of close. It's very, you don't really go 9 too often in this comp. You usually don't get a spike, so rolling at 8 for 3 stars, if that's a viable option, isn't a bad idea. But if your whole board's like 2-star, I wouldn't recommend it. Anyways, moving on to Mage. I think Mage is very strong. I think it's gonna get stronger in the next patch. Your main priority items. Sorry, dog's getting interested in stuff. Hey, no, get out. Hey, you get out from back there. No. rabbit, bro. No. No, yeah. Anyways, sorry about that. I think mage is very powerful right now, and I think it only gets stronger in the next patch. Your main priorities in mage comp are Annie items. Best in slot Annie is Ionic Spark. After that, you want tank. So Ionic Spark, Bramble, Stoneplate, excellent items. After that, you have some decent options. You have Titan, Zeroth, Sunfire, Dragonclaw. Those are okay items. If you have a bow, I wouldn't hesitate to slam Titans or Zeroth because bows are trash in this comp. After that, I think best in slot item is going to be Chalice. Chalice is going to give you 40 AP to 3 units. That is insane value. If you have tier cloak, man, cloaks are actually super good for mage comp. It's very interesting. You should be able to get those pretty easy because no one wants cloak. So Chalice is very good. There's a couple ways to play mage. If you have chosen TF and a bunch of TFs, you can go for TF3. If you have chosen Nami, a bunch of Namis, you go for Nami 3, and for those you roll at 5. I think TF just wants, honestly, just Chalice is probably really good for him. Otherwise, you can give him AP items, Death Cap, Jewel Gauntlet, things like that. For Nami, if you go Nami 3, Ludens is going to be nuts. They're changing Ludens to do double damage to CC targets. So Nami, like a blue buff and Ludens, is actually going to be one. It's just going to 1v9. It's going to be incredibly powerful. Your other option with Mage is Ahri carry. If you don't have TF or Nami 3, you're looking for an Ahri carry, which is also really good. So probably maybe a GA, probably Chalice. So those are probably the 3 ways to play Mage. It's best with the Mage chosen, but it's not necessary. As long as you have the units early game, you are good to go. Sharpshooters. I think Sharpshooters is incredibly powerful. You do want a Sharpshooter chosen. It's a little sketchy without it. So your 2 carries are Jinx, I guess 3. Jinx, Jhin, and Sejuani. So Jinx basically just wants Shojin. You really don't need to put anything else on her. Jhin wants damage items, i.e. Last Whisper, Deathblade, Giant Slayer, things like that. Sejuani wants tank items. You want that Bramble, you want that Sunfire Morello, you want the Stone Plate, things like that. And you should be good to go. Zeke's probably pretty good in the comp. So if you have an extra belt, you can make Zeke's with the sword. It's not bad. You do want the Chosen, and basically you play the complex. You make Ash items, you make Jhin items, and you can go a couple different ways with that. And if you get the Sharpshooter Chosen, you can go into Sharps. Moonlight. So Moonlight got changed. They nerfed the aphelios J interaction. They they added 5 Moonlight to where you can get 2 4-star units now. So I think best in slot aphelios is going to be Rageblade, QSS, Last Whisper. You don't go GA anymore. I think Last Whisper is best in slot from now on. Items like Locket are going to be incredible in this comp. I think with the addition of 5 Moonlight, this honestly might even be S tier. I think if you can get Rageblade, QSS, Last Whisper on your aphelios and like a Locket or 2 on like one of your other 4-star units like Lysandra or Diana or something, it's going to be incredibly powerful. So I would definitely recommend trying that out. Ninja Sin is another comp that gets a lot of value from the Locket buffs. Also, this comp's already is super strong, so it might even be S tier. Anyways, your Akali items are blue buff RFC plus 1 DPS, so i.e. Jewel Gauntlet, things like that. Even Hodge. I think Locket and Zeke's and Chalice are going to be incredibly powerful. Locket's probably the best one, followed by Zeke's, and Chalice is probably the worst. You already need 2 tiers for Akali, so it might be hard to make a Chalice, but you don't use any rods or chains, so definitely make Locket with those items if you can. The way you play this comp, the way I see it succeed most is you need the Akali Chosen. If you have an early blue buff and you just get an Akali, you can run it, and you can probably play this comp relatively successfully, but I feel like every time I see it win, it's always with an Akali Chosen. So if you do get that, keep it in mind. This comp is very strong, it's very good with Locket. Enlightened Talon, it's just like it's Enlightened opener. You have Janna, you have some frontline, It's mostly dependent on your items, so you need a GA. I think GA is a must in this comp where you get one shot too much. You need GA plus 2 damage. So it could be IE Last Whisper, it could be like Hodge, Giant Slayer, Deathblade, and any of those are fine. You just need GA and 2 damage items on Talon, and you want a Morello on the Morgana. I think Chalice Morg is also very powerful. Elderwood. There's 2 ways to play it. Either you have Ashe carry or you have Vanguard carry. I think Ashe is going to be more reliable in most cases. You have a couple ways to build the unit. The safest way is 1 DPS items. It's like Last Whisper, Giant Slayer, Deathblade. 1 defense item, so Trap Claw, QSS, maybe GA, and then a BT. This is your safe bet. If you have 6 Elderwood, this is very powerful. And it's generally going to do pretty well. What I think is best in slot, you do have to work a little for it. You have to scout more. It's going to be Last Whisper, BT, Deathblade. All these items are incredible on Ashe. I think this is for sure best in slot, but you are very vulnerable. However, if you don't get CC'd by like an Aatrox, you're actually chilling because you can face tank everything. Like your unit will not get one shot if you have 6 Elder with these items. It's super good. But you probably want to drop Deathblade for like a Trap Claw or a QSS if you do need those items. Moving on, Vanguard, Mystic Ahri. Oh, let me talk about Elderwood a little more. I mean, the comp's pretty simple to play. You literally get Elderwood units and brawlers. You get those, you can play the comp. So look for brawlers. Vanguard, Ahri, Mystic. Well, again, just like Elderwood, you need the Vanguards. You get early Vanguards, you get some Mystics. Your key units are Sejuani, Yuumi, and Ahri. I think, especially with the nerfs to Ahri's HP, GA is really valuable on her. I think GA is very valuable, and then you just need damage. So you probably want GA and 2 damage items, and those could be anything. It could be Death Cap, it could be Locket, it could be Chalice, it could be Jewel Gauntlet. All that is going to be fine. And honestly, if you have a Locket, you might not even need GA. Like if you have 2 Lockets, you probably don't need GA in this comp. So like, you're probably not making Locket because you need rods and chains. But like if you get Tears and Cloaks, definitely make Chalice. Chalice is basically a death cap, so if you can get a Chalice, a lot of units get value from it in the comp. A lot of the Mystics are very good with it. It's very good on Yuumi. It's very good on Ahri, obviously. So if you can get a Chalice, if you get a GA, you are good to go in this comp. The other thing you need is you need to secure front line. You need Sejuani too, ideally. And then your chosens are either going to be like Vanguard or Mystic or maybe even Spirit. But Vanguard Mystic is probably better. Although if you get a chosen Ahri, you can run that. You usually don't run Mage unless it's like chosen Mage Ahri. Warlord is another comp I think is S tier. I think is very powerful. The comp needs QSS and Gunblade on Katarina. After that, it's super flex. Your Zin can hold your tanky items. I think things like Locket are going to be very strong in this comp. I think Chalice is pretty good in this comp. Any of that can go on Katarina or, units around it. I think Locket's going to be really good here because you generally have quite a few frontline units, so you should be able to get good value from that. For Warlords, you just want to find early Warlords. Like it's super item dependent, and it depends on hitting Katarina kind of early. You need the Gunblade, you need the QSS, you need to hit it like kind of early, or it's going to be too late at some point. Your win con here is usually you either go 9 for legendaries, or you stay at 8 and you go for Cat 3, depending on how close you are to that unit. Spirit Shade took a hit in 10.21. They changed the autos required to proc Spirit or Shade from 3 to 4. So it's going to make Zed a lot more vulnerable. I think priority items are RFC and QSS are must. And then you have a flex slot. It's either Rageblade or Runons would be the best third, but you can go a lot of things. You can go GA, you can go IE, whatever, but those are going to be the best. I think Locket's going to be really good in this comp. Chalice is incredible in this comp. Zeke's is going to be incredible in this comp. Having 40% attack speed is super powerful. Other priority items are like blue buff for Yuumi is very strong. Moving on, Diana reroll. This comp it's not as popular, but I think it's really strong actually. If you can get the Diana early on, if you can get Diana 3 early, and go into like 4 or 6 assassins, you'll be in a really good spot. Best Diana items are gonna be Hajj IE +1. It could be anything. It could be more damage. It can be a tanky item. I don't really think it matters too much. Just like whatever you have. I think Locket is okay in this comp. It's not that great. I think Zeke's is very strong in this comp. Chalice is probably okay. I see a lot of people put Titans on their Diana. It's pretty good, but I wouldn't recommend it because there's like this bug that happens sometimes when your Titans procs and you get bigger. You can be in a scenario where you can auto attack a champion, but your orbs won't reach it. So like you can auto it, but you won't be close enough to hit it with the orbs, and you just lose fights. So I wouldn't recommend Titans, but if that's all you have, it's not the worst. And for this, you do want the Diana chosen early. Anyways, that about covers it. I hope this helped you. If you want more of these guides, make sure to subscribe, and you'll be notified when they drop. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.